Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Get Social with Bond Finance. My name is Sarah Wilkins, and I'm sat here today with one of the directors of Bond, Bruce Mannering. Hi, Bruce.
Hi Sarah, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good. Very busy, but very good.
Well, that's always good. That's always good.
So today we're going to be talking about social housing because it seems to be a big area which a lot more landlords are getting into. So I thought I'd put this podcast together just to give it a bit of an overview.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Okay,
Sounds good.
so let's get started. Today I'm just going to cover off who Bond are and where we are. A bit of an overview on social housing. How has it come about? How has it been evolved? Then looking at the current interest rates, and then what lenders are basically looking for with a social housing contract. So it's just a quick podcast on those 4 points.
Brilliant.
So I started Bond back in 2004 with my business partner Dan Newbury. We're FCA regulated and founding members of the NACFB. We've got all our brokers are CMAP qualified, and I've basically got 2 departments. I've got a residential and buy-to-let department, which only does residential and buy-to-lets, and I've also got a commercial department which does everything else. So be it refurb funding, development funding, commercial HMO funding, land purchases. So that all get lumped into the commercial sector. And we're a medium-sized firm based next door to the Bank of England. And here's all the merry men and ladies. So social housing became very popular in the likes of COVID world, where lots of landlords, especially student HMO landlords, had empty properties. And landlords were desperate to get rented to pay their mortgages. So they had to look at other ways of getting money in, be it short lets, social housing, and this is where from COVID, this is just sort of got more and more momentum in the marketplace. Now, when you say social housing, that actually covers off a large area, a large subject. See, social housing can be just a council tenant in place on an AST, or it can be when a landlord rents out the property to a charity or council on a 3 or 5 year FRI lease. Now, most lenders are fine with council tenant and an AST, but as soon as you start putting in that lease contract, lots and lots of lenders will decline to lend.
Okay.
But the good news is we've got plenty of lenders. Go back, I don't know, 6 years, I only really had Together Money. We've now got a raft of more lenders coming into the marketplace, and they're all looking at different aspects of the contract. The pros of having a social housing contract is you've got guaranteed rent for 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
So you've got no voids. It's fantastic. You've got no letting agents, so you've got 10% saving fees there. And you've got no upkeep or maintenance on the property either. So it's very good for an armchair investor, especially if they're based overseas.
Yeah.
Now, the best rates in the market by far are Fleet, but they'll instruct a bricks and mortar evaluation. So we've got, these rates are as of November. And we've got 5-year rates coming in at mid 5 to 6%.
Okay.
And the other lender of choice for social housing would also be Quantum. They use a VAS as their panel valuers, so we can instruct long-form valuations for over-adapted HMOs, if it's in an Article 4 area, or sui generis HMOs, so we can get a commercial yield-based valuation, which generally is higher than bricks and mortar when outside London. Now, HTB are another big player in the marketplace. They actually lend. They will actually lend when there's a MERS or Serco contract in place. They will instruct a long form valuation, just like quantum, so we can get commercial valuations on over-adapted HMOs, HMOs in an Article 4 area, and also sui generis HMOs. I would use HTB basically for your bigger properties and probably quantum for your smaller ones.
Okay.
So when looking at any social housing deal, I always want to see and read the contract. So I can understand who the provider is, how long the lease is, what are the break clauses, and what's the passing rent. We also need to know what the market rent is as well. And I like to get these contracts over to the lender for pre-sign-off prior to any application going in. So there's a few more checks and balances you need to do with a social housing contract. In summary, Sarah, social housing is a very good tool for landlords to use to get guaranteed rent in if they want to do a bit of armchair investing. And it's a market which is getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It really, really is. It really, really is. Thank you so much, Bruce. Another very, very interesting talk. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on another edition of Get Social with Bond Finance. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you for the next episode. Bye, Bruce.
Bye, Sarah.